Hey, what's up everybody? It's Ansel again and I'm back. Today we'll be doing something kind of different. We'll be taking a look at a microphone this time, not a keyboard. And it's going to be the Fifine, I gotta get that right, Fifine K658. Now I know I'm a mechanical keyboard YouTuber, I know. So why am I looking at a mic? Honestly, one day I want to expand this channel into general tech, more specifically mechanical keyboards, and then photography and videography, and maybe a little more than that. We'll see how it goes, but this was offered to me, and I said, why not take it and do a review on it and get some practice, and maybe some of you guys will be interested into it too. So that's what we're doing today, and I hope you guys like it. Yes, this was sent out to me for free for review, but I will be giving my own honest thoughts on it. Now, I'm not an expert in audio either, but I do know a little bit about it. So I'm not going to be completely out of my depth here, but whatever, I'm going to try, alright? So let's get into it. So some of you might already be familiar with this brand, Fifine. This is the K658, and typically this brand makes a lot of more budget-oriented microphones in the 30, 40, 50, maybe even like the $60 range. Why am I wearing my headphones? But this microphone is meant to be a cut above the rest at $120 on Amazon. So is that true? Is it not? I think that's what I'm going to try to tackle today. And I typically like their lower end products for my friends who want, more budget offerings just for talking on Discord. So let's see if this can do something similar, where it's good for the price and I can recommend it. So starting off, let's take a look at the design. Now, design-wise, the looks are okay. I actually kind of like it. It reminds me a lot of the very popular Shure SM7B. It's got that massive windscreen and it's a very cylindrical metal body, and it feels good. The shock mount's kind of cheap, but it looks cool with the RGB. And this knob right here is kind of nice, and a little green indicator on there. But just like the shock mount, it also feels very, very cheap, and I don't like that. But again, $120, I guess this is to be expected. The mic itself looks okay. And obviously, I think it's trying to capture the same audience as those who are going for the SM7B but can't afford that microphone. But in regards to looks, that's basically just as similar as it gets. Beyond that, they don't sound similar, they only look similar. The mic itself is a USB-C mic, so you don't have to worry about getting an XLR cable or getting an audio interface for it. It also has this little headphone jack back here. It's not the best quality. It works good. I don't think most people would notice unless they're using nicer headphones like me, but it's a very small difference. But for me personally, I just personally opted to either plug in my headphones straight into my PC or into my audio interface, and that sounded better to me. But again, with okay-ish headphones, you're probably not going to notice that difference. So you can plug your headphones straight into that if you want. So this mic actually has a really cool feature. It has this integrated gain knob and a tap to mute button. I actually find that very, very useful. I'm very used to using these mic interfaces with all the knobs on there, so I have to reach over and grab it just to turn up the volume, turn on the volume, or if I'm in Discord, I have hotkeys set to mute. For this one, it's all set right there, and I find that very, very useful. I'm not used to having that. So for people that are streamers or people that are on Discord and need to mute really quick to talk to somebody, or maybe they're not loud enough on Discord, boom, hit it. It's all right there. Super convenient, and I actually really like that. Now, moving on, this also has a really big windscreen. Again, very, very similar to the SM7B, but I don't think it works that well. As you noticed, I'm not talking directly into the microphone. In SM7B, you typically have to talk directly into the microphone like this. And it's because the mic capsule is actually very deep inside the mic, and then it has a pop filter, a metal one, and then it has this windscreen on top. Doing so allows it to be very, very good at just cutting out any plosives at all. I think for this guy, the capsule is actually up here. So this windscreen is very, very thin and doesn't do much. So actually it's a bit thicker than I thought. But again, the point still stands. It doesn't work that well. I would personally put something over it. So this is the one from my main mic, my RE321. Actually, that might work, having something like this. So let's do a quick plosive test. Peter Pickle Pipple Pipple whatever. So as you notice, it's way better with that guy over there. Again, this windscreen does nothing, so either upgrade that windscreen or do like what I'm doing and talk to it off axis. Have it pointing at your mouth, but be talking off axis, not directly into it. Off axis like this. And again, like the SM7B, you have to practically eat that mic. It's very, very quiet, and that makes it very, very good for use in very small rooms where it's not really well acoustically treated, which is why you see a lot of streamers go for it. My room as well is not acoustically treated very well at all, which is why I have a dynamic mic for my main mic. It really cuts down on all that room noise and makes it sound much more pleasing than if I were to use a regular condenser mic, which is what I actually used to use. But now I use that. And this, I still think it's a little too sensitive to be as good as that in terms of cutting down room noise, but it is a little bit better than your typical condenser mic. Now, even though this is a dynamic mic, it's still very sensitive, surprisingly. I have it at about 25% or maybe even below that, really. It's about like 7-ish o'clock, I believe. But yeah, it's very, very sensitive, and I have it very, very low on there because if it's any higher, it gets peaky, it gets super loud and distorted, and that's not good. Keep it there about 7 o'clock, 25-ish, 20-ish%, and you're pretty much in the golden zone, in my opinion. At least if you're talking to it like this, about this far. What is this, like a couple of inches away from your face? I think that's a pretty good volume. Before I get into the actual sound test where I compare it against another mic, I want to let you know that we're going to do a dialogue test, we're going to do a singing test, and we're going to do a keyboard test. And then I'll be comparing it against this guy, my EVRE320, which is much more expensive than this mic, but it gives us a base of reference for something that is much more expensive, something that sounds better and cleaner, and something that even professionals would reach for. So it's a base of reference. It's not to be a direct comparison, it's just giving you an idea of what a different mic sounds like. So this is how it's going to work. I'm going to read a passage, and I'm going to be recording this at the same time with two different mics. This one is running into my camera, and this one is running straight into my PC, and I'll switch between them. So here we go. Ketoacidosis is a metabolic state associated with pathologically high serum and urine concentrations of ketone bodies, namely acetone, acetoacetate, and beta-hydroxybutyrate. During catabolic states, fatty acids are metabolized to ketone bodies, which can be readily utilized for fuel by individual cells in the body. Of the three major ketone bodies, acetoacetic acid is the only true keto acid chemically. Alright, now we're going to do the singing portion. Please forgive me, I'm not exactly the best singer, but I feel like there are going to be singers going for this microphone, so why not? Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter, Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Now, as you can see, the mic actually doesn't sound too bad.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Yo, it is Editor Ansel coming in to you early in the morning. My thoughts on this mic while doing this review have completely changed. Originally, when I got this mic, there was only a little bit of hissing, but it was fine. It wasn't that bad. But now the hissing is really, really bad, and it makes me think that this microphone might have some longevity issues. So, based on that hissing alone, while the overall sound signature and sound of the mic actually isn't bad, I can't recommend it anymore. I don't know if this is just my unit. It didn't seem to be an issue with other reviewers' units, but we don't know how long they use those for. This mic has been sitting around for about a month, and I haven't dropped it or anything. I've been taking care of it. I used it lightly, and I got an idea for how it sounded. I've done some tests, but now after this video, it's a bummer. But as of now, I can no longer recommend this mic unless they get it fixed. I'll update my thoughts on that in the comments. And based off that alone, I'll just update my recommendations for what I recommend that you should buy instead of this. So for around $100 or $120, if you have a room that's very well treated in terms of acoustics, you know, you have foam panels or sound blankets, get something like an MXL990 with a pop filter and a Behringer UM2. It's a combo that I used and it's really, really good. And if your room isn't well treated and you're like a streamer and you can't really put up the foam panels and whatnot, I would recommend swapping out the MXL90 for something like a Behringer XM8500 or a Shure SM48. That is a really good combo. I see a lot of times a lot of people will buy like condenser mics like the MXL990 in a room that is not well treated at all. Don't do that. You'll get a lot of room noise, you'll get a lot of ambient noise from around your house or wherever you are. It'll sound bad. But a dynamic mic where you have to bring the mic just a little bit closer, like this guy right here, the EVRE320, it's gonna be magic. It's gonna be butter. It's gonna cut out a lot of that room noise. Out of the box, it's gonna sound like it's already been EQ'd. It's pretty nice. Versus like a condenser mic, I feel like those require quite a bit of EQ. But yeah, I hate to break out the video like that, but it is what it is. I gotta be honest, and I can't lie in these videos. I told them I'm gonna be very, very honest in these videos. And again, this could be an issue with my unit, but who knows? It could just be a longevity issue. Maybe it's the cable. I don't know. I don't have any extra cables to test it with. But yeah, that's just what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate you. Please let me know what you think of this video. If it was too long, too slow, if you would like to see more of this content. And stay tuned for what's coming up next. I have some really cool stuff. I have like a C3 equals build. That's like a rare TKL. It was like $850 for the full build, and I'm really, really excited to build it for the client. I have a custom Bake Neko that I'm working on. I don't have it. It's over there. I'll show you in the future, but it's really, really cool. And finally, I just have some reviews coming up, so please look forward to that. And excuse the inconsistent posting schedule. It's kind of weird. But yeah, follow all my socials in the description below. And thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you guys next time, and peace.